Hey guys, in this video, I'm starting my Road to the Horse colt starting preparation. And I'm up in Canada working with a very challenging colt that I think was closer to 4 or 5 years old. He's absolutely massive and he was quite a challenge. Let's get into it. Hey guys, so just to kind of set the tone here, so what I'm doing is we're doing a colt start, and we're trying to do it kind of under the time clock that they would have at Road to the Horse. So we're doing it a little bit of a competition style, and there's another guy in the round pen off to the side they can't see in the camera named Kent. Super nice guy. He's is dating Glen Stewart's daughter, Keely, and Glenn is putting on this colt start. This is up in Canada at his ranch. Called the Horse Ranch. It's one of the most beautiful places I've been to, just absolutely stunning views. And so I thought I'd get a little Road to the Horse practice here and start some colts with him. And so this was the colt that they brought out for me, and it turns out he's more of a horse than a colt. They said he was 3. The owner, said he was 3, but he looked like a pretty full-size horse. And then later on, I found out that they had already kind of put a saddle on him and tried a few different things with him. And so some of the issues that I ran into along the way made a little more sense once I found that out. But here you can see I'm just trying to kind of make friends with him, getting him to hook on to me. He was pretty catchable, but he wouldn't think to come to you at all. So I spent a little bit of time playing with getting him to look at me with 2 eyes, but he was pretty sticky on the fence. And I ended up fixing that later on, getting him to follow me around at Liberty. But that was multiple sessions in from this one. This is the very first session that I worked with him. And so again, at Road to the Horse, I'm going to want to get my halter on the colt pretty quick, because usually you can get a little more done with a halter and lead rope on in terms of teaching them to follow a feel and steady pressure and that sort of thing. And so overall, when I'm starting a colt, there's kind of 3 main categories of things that I'm thinking about getting the horse to accept. And the first one is pressure, which is steady pressure, rhythmic pressure, driving them around, and then rhythmic motion, what's what I'm doing right now, where I'm moving the flag around, but I want him to read my intention that he can just stand still and relax with that. And so those are kind of 3 critical components for any horse to get them understanding things. Now here I'm kind of using driving pressure and moving him around a little bit. And then the second one is accepting the saddle. And so that's like steady pressure around their rib cage and getting them to accept a saddle. I think it's a really terrible reason to get bucked off a horse, because they haven't accepted the saddle yet. So I take that step very serious when I'm saddling them, trying to set them up for success with it. And so this is one of the steps that I would do, is let them wear a lariat rope around them in different ways, and it kind of exposes them to that idea of steady pressure that you want them to just tolerate and accept and be comfortable with it and not scared of it. And then the last thing that we're going to focus on is accepting the human. And so this is where, you do some bareback mounting and, getting, sometimes you can sit on a fence and get them used to a person being above them. And you're going to see later on in the video, this colt ended up being pretty challenging. And we thought it would be really good for him to get ponied by another horse. And so later on in the video, you're going to see Glenn working with him. And Glenn did a really great job with that. But right now, I'm a little bit disorganized, because I had just flown in late the night before and kind of got jumped in head first right with this. And so I'm just kind of getting the feel for him and kind of making my plan. Later on, we kind of abandoned the timeline of it, because we realized the 2 horses that we were going to start needed a slower pace and program to accept things. And so, it was just the timeline originally was just a bit of a thing to put a little pressure on us to get the exposure and feeling of what it'll be like for me being in that round pen next March. So if you haven't got your tickets for that, make sure you guys get your seats and come there to either cheer me on or learn a lot. There's a lot of clinics, and it's just one of my favorite weekends of the year. So yeah, I'm kind of getting the feel for this horse and realizing that he's a really sensitive horse and doesn't have a ton of understanding of pressure and different things. So I got quite a bit of work to do. And then given that he's a bit older, and I don't know that he was challenging. I think it was more that he was a little bit older and somebody had kind of already been there first. There's a few things that I had to reinforce a new, more positive behavior or positive relaxation through him. I kind of was learning that as I was going. At first, I didn't know that somebody had already saddled him and different things, but there was a little bit of some things to unpack with him, if you will. But yeah, he kind of already knew this lateral flexion. This is really key. This is going to end up being your steering when you're sitting on their back. So it's really important to get him to follow a feel there. And here you're going to see me starting the process of exposing him to bareback mounting, just kind of jumping up and down. And this is all about accepting the human. You can see he was a big horse there. So he'd be kind of a tall horse to jump on bareback easily. So that's one of the things I'm going to be doing in preparation for Road to the Horse is just being as physically fit as I can be when I get there. And again, just the idea of just making it as easy as possible for the colts and how we're doing it. The more slick and smooth you can be with your level of fitness and being handy just makes it that much easier. So I like this little pattern here of jump up and down a little bit, then yield the hindquarters, kind of take the pressure off, and it creates a little pattern that you can kind of use later on. So I'll jump up and down, and then I'll just move his hip around a little bit, and then go back to doing it. And then that they kind of see and they know what's coming then, and they can usually settle into a little more. Then I threw in a couple of head downs in there too. Hey, if you guys are enjoying this video, you're going to love my Patreon page. On YouTube, I talk about what we're doing, why we're doing it, when to do it. But on Patreon, I show you guys how to do it. So if you want to be able to ask me questions and see more detailed training videos on how to work through common issues, I can help you on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link in the comments below. Make sure you check it out. So now I'm throwing that leader up over his back, and you can see I'm going to start putting it around his belly there, and this is where I practice kind of tightening my cinch, is what I'm thinking about here before I'm committed. So right now I'm involved. Once you go to throw that saddle up there, then you're pretty committed that when you get your cinch underneath them, you got to go ahead and get your saddle secure, so if they move around, it's not going to fall off them and all that sort of thing. And you can see I got some obstacles in the round pen there, kind of getting him used to all that different stuff as we go. Getting used to that saddle pad. I do a lot of preparation with a saddle pad to try to set it up to make it easy when you go to throw that saddle over there. And he was pretty good about standing still for the saddle. This part went pretty smooth. And again, somebody had already saddled him, so this was not his first time. I don't know how many times he was saddled. But as you're going to see here in a minute, I don't think it went all that well.
Yeah, you had him turn the wrong direction.
And then don't be in front of the horse when they go to move off with this.
A little bit more action over this way.
For obvious reasons.
Put those saddles on, like, see if they jump around that much.
He's so out of breath.
And make sure that saddle is on there. So it doesn't fall off and get him in his belly and make things worse.
Now for this first one, I also think it's important to let him find relief moving forward. I don't want him to stop and get relief right now. I want him to find relief moving forward because they tend to get stuck when you first get on them. And so if he can find relief at a walk or trot, where I point that out because most of the time we like to let him get a standstill to get relief. But with colt starting, you feel the best when they finally move out calmly while you're sitting on them. Then you're like, okay, all systems are go. He get bucked a little harder than I expected him to be able to buck.
kind of move them around, and I keep them moving a little bit for them, and then I go to doing it too many more times after that, because I don't want it to be hot again. I get a hold of them, pump the nose a little bit, and so now move off again, don't pump, and move off again. But I want to make sure that they have that freedom to go ahead, so that that's an option.
Yeah, so here I'm back to just putting that rope around him, and then this is one of my favorite moves here, just tying a rope to a stirrup and letting them get exposed to your legs, touching them on their sides. And he was pretty reactive to this, and so I ended up doing this with him multiple sessions, just getting him gentle off that stirrup, moving around. And I like to do it in two ways. You know, one way is just exposing them to it, moving around. The other way is actually pressing it on them, starting to teach them that they can go forward with it. You know, and then here I'm just kind of finding a place to finish. He got pretty settled and relaxed with the saddle. And so I'm going to just try to release him on stepping up and down in that saddle and just kind of easing my way in there. Because what a lot of people don't realize, they feel pretty safe when you're stepping up and down in the stirrup. But if the horse launches while your weight is in that stirrup, you're going with them. You're going for a ride too. Not that it's ever happened to me, but I would imagine that's how it would go. No, seriously. But yeah, you'll get launched right with them if they take off there. So you got to have your kind of ducks in a row when you're doing this. And again, he was a pretty tall horse, so kind of gave me a little extra motivation to get my fitness up for when I'm in that round pen next year.
So we're back here for another session, and I think I have a better game plan with him today. Now that I got a bit of a read on him and understand where he's at a little better. And one of the things we're going to do today is Glen is going to pony this horse around a bit, and I think that'll help him get exposed to him being something being above him, especially since it's hard to bareback mount him and things like that because he's so tall. So that'll be good. So I'm going to get him kind of going for him, get him saddled up, and then Glen's going to take it from there. All right, so I kind of like that. Him kind of looking me up right off the bat. Can't really go wrong with this to start off the session, especially since he was really sticky on the fence. And I kind of regretted that I didn't follow through with that a little bit more the other day, getting him to come off the fence and face in, but he was a little bit sticky on that. So I'm pretty glad that he's here, but I was planning on moving him around and getting him to hook on, but he seems pretty hooked on, so I'm gonna go ahead and halter him up, I guess. Glen's gonna show me some things with ponying him here. Obviously he's really tall, it's pretty hard to get on. And so the bareback mounting did not go amazing for me. So can you just talk us through a little bit about anything you want to share with us, Glen, and about what you might be doing with him?
Yeah, I believe that he's about ready to mount up. Everything's going good, but I also believe that there's a bunch of more stuff we could do from the saddle and get above him. So he's looking at you like you'd be if you're on him. You don't have your weight on him, but he's looking up and out of his right eye and up and out of his left eye, because I'm going to go both sides on him. I'm going to wave some flags around and do some more confidence building type things with him. He quit eating the flag. From the back of the horse, and we'll see how it goes. I'll move his front end, move his hindquarters, just do some things to see what the reactions are like, and try to get some responses instead of reactions. And then we might go out on the playground and do some stuff off the saddle horse and go through a bunch of the playground. We'll see where we get.
All right, so Glen has competed at Road to the Horse a couple times and has worked with thousands of horses, and so I'm really excited to see what else he can show me in different ways to prepare a horse to be ridden. All right, let's get into it.
We don't know what he's going to act like from my horse's back, but Ryan's done a whole bunch of stuff with him on the ground to prepare him, and he's just in a whole lot better place than he was when he got here. And he's a pretty big, powerful, movie horse, so it'd be nice to just get as much as done from up here as we can too, just so when we get on him to ride, there's just no fuss. It'd be the plan. I'm just going to bring him along here. Let's see if we can just get him to come for a walk. One of the things that I can tell you, if you're going to do this, you better have a horse that you're riding that's you can count on pretty good, because we don't know if this horse will decide to take after my horse or not. We don't think this one would, but he could, and I need to be able to move this horse off if he decides to come after my horse, and my horse has got to be able to move and turn left or right. If this guy suddenly run behind me right now and get this rope all wrapped around me and my horse, I got to be able to turn my horse real quick and untangle things. So I'm letting him make the little circles right now, but I'm going to put him on the outside here in a bit too. You can just come along, and it's almost like when he starts to move his feet a little faster, that's when he gets excited and thinks he's gonna run off and do something. But I just got one little wrap on the horn to help me hold him. There you go. Oopsie. Sometimes I'm using this with rhythmic pressure, just like I've taught you guys, and other times it's just rhythmic motion. When I'm just waving it up in the air and waving it around, that's rhythmic motion. But if I tap him with it, that's rhythmic pressure, and I'm saying, move over or get up here or something, depending on where I'm tapping him. Want to be able to rub all his legs and under his belly and his back leg and stuff. So you've done all that on the ground, but sometimes it's different. You get up top here and I just as soon test it from here. Oftentimes your first bunch of rides you end up having to do it here, but if you got a saddle horse and you wanted to do it like this, bridges the gap some more. Attaboy. Governor's getting the idea of this. He's telling him to quit coming over with your face and get out of here. So you see the pace that I'm setting with my saddle horse? It's very slow. And I'm asking this guy to just come up here and match the pace. Don't get ahead of us. Don't get behind us. Yield to this here. I'm asking here to get up there. Now you don't have to run. It's like he's stuck and then he runs. He's stuck and then he runs. So we want him to get, so he's not stuck and he doesn't run. And I'm just setting this little tiny slow pace. And I'm trying not to let this horse set the pace, the one I'm leading. I want to set the pace with my gray horse here, with Governor. And he's doing a great job of it, by the way. He's just plodding along at 2 miles an hour. So it makes it really easy for this guy to follow, but he doesn't know to follow it yet. But we'll get that. It's coming, it's better. It's not such a big, what he's doing isn't so big. He's trying to figure out the answer. Like, a lot is happening. A lot of good stuff is happening. He's finding, what is the answer here? I'm just gonna sit here like I was sitting on a fence post, and I'm gonna see if I can roll this guy into position like I want to get on him. So he's standing in a great, nice and close. He's in a real good position, but I can't get on him unless I want to sit here behind his ears. So I'm just going to pet this part because he let me have this much of him. So to me, this looks way less reactive. Like I'm tapping him over there in the flank with the flag, and his eyes are half asleep, and he's kind of, what are we doing? What are we doing? Good job. So I'm not going to try to put him exactly in the spot right off the hop. We're just working our way there. Petting the spot that he gives us, and they're going to get to where they want to give you more spots because they figured out after a bit that you're just going to rub another spot. There's a little step. Would you mind grabbing my stock whip? So this is something I do in the saddle on a Colt, is get them used to that, and they go, oh, this feels way safer sitting on this, this gray horse doing this. And if that's all he does for reaction, I think even I could stay on. All right, so we've been playing with this guy, trying to get him all settled down and slowed down and relaxing and thinking. And we just played basically with 3 things. We said, can you switch sides so that I can get in your other eye and he can see me the other eye? Can you get into this position? Stand here real quiet. So maybe we can show you one of those. Roll him over there to the other side. Come on into position here. And it's just all this stuff is just about yields. And I was saying, pick and choose anything you want to do. Really, there's no set. I didn't come here with a set plan going, this is what I was going to do. I did know that I wanted to see if my horse was nervous at all, and if he is, I want to help him get confident. And then I want him to understand how to move his parts for me a little bit. I want him to figure out that coming and standing here with me all up here waving stuff around, he doesn't have to worry about it. He can just go right back to sleep. I want him to be able to travel, move his feet here. We'll go along and move his feet here and say, can you come along with me, and we'll go for a little walk. Come on along. That's it. You come along without racing way ahead of me or going way behind me. Well, you're getting a little ahead, so I can say, can you move your front shoulders over here. Cross those front legs. Turn on that left hind foot. That's it. See his weight shift? Not backwards, there. And the fact that I can kind of quit and put my stick on his back and rub him with the flag and he just goes to sleep, I go, I love that. Because at the beginning, moving the flag, he started to run and got worried and everything. So now I can be asking with the flag something, pick the flag up to give him a rub, and he seems to figure out the difference between the two and goes to sleep, and he goes, well, I guess that maneuver's finished. Yeah, and then he can crawl around all over him up here, and he just, yeah, I can feel there's no tension there. I think he's really relaxed. So I think probably you could go ride him for 2 hours instead of doing this and probably not get as much done. Like this, his demeanor, because we played with him 3 times on the ground, and I would say his demeanor is like that. All helps and moves us to be able to do this, but I would say he's got the biggest dramatic change in his demeanor doing this. The end.
So as you guys can see here, Glen did a great job ponying this horse around, and I think it was really helpful for him to get exposed to a human being above him. Glen had fantastic feel and timing with how he was doing it. The horse also got some exposure to pressure, and it finished up really well. And now I'm going to show you a clip from a few days later. I had to go, but the horse was just about ready to ride when I was leaving, and let's see where they're at now. This horse is huge. He's massive. This horse is got to be pushing 1,400 pounds. Well, I think it'd be a miracle if I could get on this horse bareback. Man, he's... Did I mention he's big? What is he, like 16'3"?
Pretty big.